We come from different backgrounds. We represent different faith organizations and groups. We are a rainbow of hues and colors in this mix. But the thing that shares the commonality of us gathering is that I believe that everyone under the sound of my voice is a proponent of love, is a proponent of justice, and a proponent of mercy. No matter where you stand with your faith, no matter where you stand in relationship to your ethnicity, those of us who are people of conscience look for love, promote justice, and promote mercy. It is ironic that on one of the highest and the most sacred days in the Christian church, we're here to deal with an issue that should have been addressed a long time ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are some very powerful symbols and images that you see around us. There is the cross. It is the symbol of man at his worst. An injustice that was perpetrated on one who was innocent, whom even his detractors said could find no fault in him. Then there is the gun, an instrument that is used too many times throughout the city of Philadelphia and across this country that is bringing hardship and pain to not only those who are around this room, but those who are all across our country. And then, unfortunately, we have the casket. It's empty today. We thank God it's empty today. But at the rate of how guns are being proliferated in our community, it might be empty today, but some child, innocent child, will be in it on tomorrow. There are some interesting statistics that I want to share with you. It is taken from the Philadelphia Inquirer, and I think you need to know about it because it's statistics that impact on those of us who live in the Philadelphia region. In Philadelphia alone last year, there were 333 homicides in Philadelphia and vicinity. Last year alone, 17 of those deaths were perpetrated on those 17 and younger. There were 128 homicides for those working and living between the ages of 18 and 25. There were 259 people of color, African Americans, who perished by the gun. There were 277 homicides across Philadelphia and vicinity last year alone. The numbers continue to grow. The numbers continue to get worse. We are asking Mr. Colosimo to do the right thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are some constitutional guarantees, and most of us are aware of the Second Amendment, the right to bear and have an arm. But there are also some constitutional guarantees that I think ought to trump guns. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Yes, sir.
That all men are created equal and endowed by that Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If guns keep you from having life, if guns keep you from having liberty, and if guns keep you from having happiness, we need a reasonable response to the proliferation of guns in this community. We say to Mr. Colosimo that we are capitalists. We know that you are a capitalist. We know that you need money to run your business. But your money running your business, if it causes the loss of life, liberty, and happiness, you need to reassess your business priorities.
Yes, sir.
Yes, he has a legal right to sell arms. But everything that is legal is not necessarily moral.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was legal for them to bring slaves across this continent and across the seas to America. But just because it was legal and slavery was legal in America, it was still immoral.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was legal to confiscate and take land from the Indians who were here first, calling it manifest destiny. But just because it was legal, it was still immoral.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
It was legal to intern Japanese Americans because of the color of their skin and their nationality during World War II. But just because it was legal, it was still immoral.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Segregation was a peculiarity of our country. It was legal in a lot of states, but it was still immoral.
That's right. That's right.
Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, crucifixion was legal. The Roman government had the authority to pronounce death on Jesus.
That's right.
The Jewish community, the rabbis and all of those who were in leadership sanctioned that death. It was legal, but it was still immoral.
That's right.
Mr. Colosimo has a legal right to sell guns. But every time those guns are used in the killing of innocent lives, it might be legal, but it is immoral. And so these symbols, the symbol of the cross that is draped, we take this symbol and we place it on the gun. The draping of the gun symbolizes the fact that we want an end to gun violence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Colosimo, you have a right to sell guns, but it is immoral for you to allow those guns to be used to kill innocent lives. Because just as though we cover the gun, we want to cover the casket.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
We have the cross, we have the gun, and we have the empty casket. We're asking Mr. Colosimo to be reasonable. If Walmart can sign the code of conduct, the biggest retailer in this country, then why can't Mr. Jim Colosimo? In conclusion, when they brought Jesus to Pilate, Pilate examined Jesus. He scrutinized Jesus, and at the end of his interrogation, he found that he had no reason to put him to death. But instead of doing the right thing, all he did was wash his hands. And even though he washed his hands, the blood was still there. Mr. Colosimo, you can ignore us. You can hide behind your buildings and your walls. But even though you hide behind your buildings and fail to sign the code of conduct, at the end of the day, the blood is on your hands.